I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Greetings, and good morning. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Manning's Man, and it's a wonderful, wonderful day. It is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Welcome again to the platform. We continue to look to the hills from whence cometh our help. Our help comes from the Most High God. He has made the heavens and the earth, and he will not suffer our foot to be moved. He keeps us, and he never slumbers, and he never ever sleeps. Blessed love to one and all. We give thanks for the breath in our lungs. Yes, indeed. It's his breath in our lungs. So we pour out our thanksgiving and our praise to him. Whatever name you call him by, he is still the Most High. Welcome, Triple E, Eagle Republic, and all the other persons watching. Some of you, you may not have made a comment, but I know you're out there watching. It is going to be a good show. We have a couple of shows that we will be doing today. This is the first of two. Right after this one, we will be taking like a 15 minutes break. And then we will have Mr. Marlon Glean. Marlon Glean is the president of the Grenada Football Association. He also worked at FIFA during the time of the building of the Captain Horace Burrell Center. Very instrumental in that. We're going to discuss Caribbean football. Not only Caribbean football, but we're going to discuss, just Grenada and what sort of partnership we can come up with where, as Caribbean islands, we can support and help each other in terms of our output and making a big and huge difference in the footballing landscape and make Caribbean football a powerhouse in the CONCACAF region. All right. That's the ambition. And if it shouldn't be that one of us does well at the expense of the other islands, it should be that all of us are progressing in our football development and helping to build each other. Because if all of us are better, then Caribbean football on a whole will improve significantly and drastically. All right. Now, I came upon this quote recently, and I would love to just say it again. The quote is very simple. It says, truth is like a lion. It doesn't, listen, truth is like a lion, right? You don't have to defend it. Set it free, and it will defend itself. Truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Set it free, and it will defend itself. I want to encourage you as you traverse through the journey of life that every time you come to an argument, a discussion, dialogue, discourse, disagreement, ask yourself this: do I value the relationship, or do I value winning the conversation more? Because too often the focus is on winning the conversation, and oftentimes that is at the expense of the relationship. So many people win the conversation, but they have broken or destroyed a relationship. Never try to win a conversation. Always try to build healthy relationship. Because man exists for this reason: to love God and to love people. And if those relationships are falling apart, then life will also fall apart. Get it? All right. So moving right along. You'd have heard by now that the Reggae Boys on the 16th of November will host Canada here in Jamaica at the National Stadium in the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Nations League. The second leg will be played in Toronto, Canada on the 20th. On the 20th of November, of course, in Toronto, Canada. The winner of that qualifies straight to the 2024 edition of the Copa America. All right. Trinidad and Tobago will travel to the USA to play them first, then they host them in Port of Spain, right? So that's when Panama will host Costa Rica, and then Mexico will go up against Honduras. All right. But the big thing is to know that Jamaica will go up against Canada home and away with the first leg at home. So begin to put together some money, right, to buy your tickets, to get your Reggae Boys jersey. Go on the Adidas website and order that right now. Get it, whether you're, even if you're in the States, fly over, come and support the team when they get to Canada. This morning, as well, for this particular part of the show, we'll have with us Mr. Rudolph Speid. I think this is the first time we have had him on the show since Cavaliers advanced to the semifinals of the Caribbean CONCACAF, the Caribbean Club Championship, where he'll be going up against Harborview. I think that is also in this month. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that, because this is the first time. It's also the first time since we are hearing that Richard King is back in Jamaica from his lone stint in Iceland. I think his team got relegated, so that would mean he and Busy is here. But he has more pertinent discussion that he wants to have with us, because there are some things that, he believes that it's a matter of integrity, and therefore it is important that clarity is brought to these issues as they were discussed elsewhere last night. So he wants to bring some clarity to those issues, because that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that all sides of the story as best as possible can be heard so people can make better decisions about where they take their conversation. So want to welcome Mr. Rudolph Speid, head cook and bottle washer at Cavaliers, and also the chairman of the technical committee. And I would love to also, if he has the time, would love to know what is going on with the coach for the women's team. We heard some stuff about a Morgan guy and some other reports. So don't know if we can sneak in one or two questions. We'll also, he's not afraid of questions. So if you're here and you'd like to question him, then that would be most welcome, I know, by him. But Mr. Speid, no, you're in your office signing off on checks as usual, but welcome to the show. One of these days, I really hope that you'd send one of those multi-million-dollar checks that you sign to I Am Sure Sports. You understand me? Mr. Speid, welcome to the show. Good morning. How are you doing, sir? You're muted, I don't know if you're trying to talk, but if you are, you're muted. All right, so it looked like Mr. Speid is having a next conversation. So in the meantime, right, so Jamaica, like I said, Jamaica will be going up against Canada, home and away. And I believe for those fixtures, I just have this very good feeling. As you know, Ethan Pinnock will be available. All the present players from the Gold Cup squad will be available for selection, right? Including Ethan Pinnock, including Amari Bell, who would have recovered from injury. I think Kanaya Boyce Clark probably will still be out because his injury is somewhere between 6 to 8 weeks. And I am also believing that we can get one other high profile, high quality, player to join the squad for that window. But Mr. Speid, welcome to the show.
Thank you
And
for
good
having
morning.
me. Thank you for having me. And Rob Smith, you're up on the ball. I really was just busy negotiating a contract. Why I didn't come in. But
What you just said, you were busy negotiating a contract?
no, I was busy negotiating. So me have a player for launch. Me have a new player. Next match you'll see him run out. Quality young player. Teenager.
From where?
He used to play for JC called Fraser.
Used to play for JC called Fraser.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He used to play for Portmore too.
Quality. What position? Need to look out for him.
He's a midfielder, but he's very versatile.
Manningsman also has a player in the league, right? That player, every year Manningsman, one of the players that he builds, he sends in the league. Look out for him. He's at Moline.
Which player is that?
Ricardo Gooden. He's
so
at Moline.
You see Rob Smith and Cavell. You see how Manningsman treat him friendly. He never send the player to me, So when he send the player, Moline. So him and Brian are licked, but it's all right.
Yeah, so he'll be at Moline. In fact, he has been playing really good in preseason for them. He has scored. They have been playing multiple positions, and he has been doing well. So look out for him, people. I think he's going to bring a spark to the league this season. But Mr. Speid, I don't know if you want to get into the stuff that you want to speak to, or you want me to ask you some questions, because I did hear last night that there were some growing sentiments that the coach, one of the things that was raised is that Coach Al Grimson no longer lives in Jamaica. And that is possible why he is not here presently.
So without taking too much things out of schools, actually, since COVID, the world is very much different. Most systems have been updated technologically, so people can just work. A lot of people still work from home. A lot of even big banks that was working from home during the COVID. So the world is seeing a different view of how people work. because there's so much technology to do all the work for you. You don't have to be in the same space as other persons to work. As a matter of fact, the world is avoiding people in the same space a lot. So we don't have any issues with the coach going back to Iceland and working from his home where he's comfortable doing his own business also. So he's here full time. So he's full time on the work. Even yesterday we had a couple of meetings. So he's full time on the work. He's just not in Jamaica. So when I hear somebody saying, I mean, I would just call him a crackpot because that's the only way somebody would ever talk that out of their mouth, to say that the coach live in Kingston. When the coach comes to training he has an office in Kingston, he has an office space in Kingston, so he would come in sometime. And if he doesn't feel like going back to Ocherus, he would sleep in Kingston. That is true that he sleeps in Kingston. But he still maintains his residence in Ocherus, a 3-bedroom residence, I think. Just like, I mean, and that there is no doubt about that. But I mean, the man is free to travel wherever he travels. So the person who was pushing that line last night, I would just say he's just a plain liar, not more mischievous. And he should check himself. Maybe he have a psychological problem. Then he start to spout that the coach don't get paid. Rubbish. Again, the coach, get paid every month, and we don't have any issues. Of course, we still owe some other people if that's what you want, but take the coach out of it. There's no truth to that again. And him spout some other lies too, but I can't remember them all because there were so many. And but those two, I just thought that I had to clear the air about those two. And I'm going to ask the bloggers, don't allow people to come on your program and spew lies and without proof and try to smear people and get out of it. That's my 2 cents.
Okay, so number one, you're saying that the coach is not owed any salary.
No.
You want to clear up that.
Yeah.
Right? And when we talk about coach, you're talking about the head coach of the national team. And secondly, the coach...
Neither is the coaches from the female team owning the salary, neither, just to make sure the head coach of those 2 teams.
Okay, so meaning like, which is the former coach, Lauren Donaldson.
Yeah, and I don't know of any coach that is owed salary, to be honest. I don't know.
Okay.
None of them, no coaches. So it's not true. So I could just stop talking. And then truth is, JFF probably having their best year this year financially. They have, we have a 300 million debt that they inherit and they're paying down. So it's always difficult. It's not like it's easy to pay all their bills, but we get in there.
Okay, all right. So, and the coach, you said that the coach has residence in Kingston when he comes up where he can stay, but
we have 3 apartments that coaches use.
Meaning the Jamaica Football Federation?
Yeah, and we have in Kingston. One of them is in Kingston. So, I mean, as long as nobody's using it, then, anybody wants to sleep there, we don't have any issues. They can sleep wherever they want in any of the apartment.
Yeah, what some persons are saying is that since the league is going to start, which is actually this Sunday, I think the reasonable people, I think, were saying that wouldn't it have been a good thing for him to be in Jamaica to watch the league, right? Which I don't know that he necessarily needs to be in Jamaica because it is televised, but that is like for the reasonable people, they are saying that, okay, maybe he should be in Jamaica now.
Right. So I'm going to say this, but I don't want anybody to take it anyway. Of all the last 3 coaches that we have, Al Grimson would have watched more Premier League game than the previous 2 coaches combined. Anybody want to test me on that? Test me. Of the last 3 national coaches we have, Al Grimson would have watched more Premier League games than the other 2 coaches combined.
Yeah, well, I can. All right, I can attest to that.
Okay.
Because
so I don't know where they get that from.
Let me just tell people this. This coach has gone to St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, not to what, because some of those parishes I'm calling do have Premier League games. St. James, St. Mary, right? To watch games that are not Premier League games. That I know. he has gone
But
to train.
I just made a statement and nobody can dispute that statement. Nobody at all can dispute
Yeah.
what I just said.
And I will also say this, that you just did 9 days. I think it is reasonable. This is my opinion for a coach to get a day or two break.
Look here, we
And
don't
yeah,
care. We don't care where the coach want to go, as long as him doing work. Look here, we have a contract with him, and we pay X amount of bills, X amount of flights to and from, and anything over that the coach pays for himself. We don't really care where him go, as long as him doing work. And so far, we are satisfied.
okay, all right. What about the when they say the coaches have been paid? Because I saw something
You sure
where
you want to bring up that? I don't know nothing about that. Fufu. You all start a rumor now. Don't even bring it.
no, what I'm going to ask, you don't know,
I know what you're going to ask. I hear some stupid people say that thing. I don't want to bring it.
on the female side with an assistant coach.
Oh, the female side. I thought it was the male side.
No, man. I'm talking about
All
on
right,
the
okay,
on the female side. There's a coach I think called Thomas that I saw something about not being paid.
Which Thomas?
I think the assistant coach isn't the assistant coach Thomas.
Not like that. As far as I know, and I check up to this morning and ask a question because I don't want to come here and say anything. All the coaches have been paid.
Okay.
Bar none. Every single coach, every single physical trainer, all of them get paid every single month.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that means like coaches and physical trainers.
What
They're
is
actually
this? I ask you if this is a JFF
no,
show.
man. Because no.
No.
No,
But
no,
when
no.
you have theme show,
No, because they beat me. So me and coaches this. Because
me's alright with him too. But when him have theme show and him carry on whosoever he want carry on, nobody call him and ask him if it's a JFF technical committee show. Coaches, this.
Yeah, all right. So we have the man from Trinidad. You know, he always wants to speak to us.
Mr. Speid, how you doing?
All right. So
I'm good. You know, say Trinidad coming like my second home now. I go to Trinidad so often and I never see you down there yet.
Mr. Speid, how you doing?
I'm good.
And Andre, we're getting a bit feedback. I think you're watching the show and talking at the same time.
Yeah, I saw it out.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry about that. What you say about Trinidad, Mr. Speid?
It's like my second home. I go to Trinidad so often now.
I know that.
I was in there twice pass through and stay overnight twice, but I never see you yet. I don't understand.
Well, I was there 2 weeks ago, but when I go, me stay short, 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, but I think you should check on the assistant coach for the female team. Just get those. You understand me? Because given what I've heard, I think there's some outstanding thing there. So just check on it.
I don't think that's true. Yes.
All right. You can check on it and let me know. And then, if you check on it,
I'll come back.
Yeah.
If you're wrong, I'll come back and tell you.
Yeah, and let me know because I want it to be clear.
This morning I inquired before I came on the show, but I'll check.
Okay. All right. So that thing has been cleared up, right? Yesterday there was a discussion as well. I don't know if you heard it, about a lot of it was centered around me and my post. So my position is that it is never my duty. It has never been that if I'm appointed to do something or asked to, it is the persons who are above me that has the responsibility of providing the information as to what my rules and functions are.
That's 50-50 though. So I'm gonna say you're right, but you probably could have provided information that you were allowed to provide. So what people don't understand is that if I come to contact you about doing something of a role, I can tell you say either the thing iffy or I can tell you say you can't say nothing based on certain circumstances, which your post I think was really kind of may I try to find a word. Help me know. Why word, Andre? It was like
last minute.
No, you know when something up on a knife's edge and you have to be careful how you deal with it.
Right,
You have to be careful how you deal with certain issues. So you only give a whole heap of licks still for that, because at the end of the day, if you're going to do something And you know why you volunteer for this, because you think you can make a difference. Just like all of us think we can make a difference. But if you're, but you, I mean, you could have said something as much as you can, but usually you can't say everything. And sensitive, yeah, it's so sensitive because there's other people involved. A lot of time people don't understand, you know. If management come out and say, me out on the manager tomorrow at the national team, and there's a manager there already, you see what can happen?
Right.
Yeah, it you know, even if him say more be the assistant manager. So until a certain conversation is had, you just have to just know how to cut and go through till you can do certain things. So that's how me see it there. I don't know.
But could I ask a question in a different context?
Yeah.
So as the MA is a representative of FIFA, and you own a business, you own a club, and one of the things that our region it seems as though we get nick for a lot of time is what is considered good governance and best practices sometimes. And I'm sure you're hearing a lot of the coaching courses about what's best practice. So some of the values of or characteristics of good governance, you would agree, is accountability, transparency, trust in and out of the organization. So I want to ask it in this context, and forgive me. You're on mute.
No man, he knows. Go ahead, Andre. He's listening though.
So the question I'm asking, why when management agreed to take the position, why didn't the JFF just come out and say what he's in the position, this is his title, and these are his roles and responsibilities, so that he not in a position where he have to explain to people and potentially cross lines that he shouldn't cross.
Right. So what happened? He would have known that he can't disclose anything until him have a contract in his hand. So sometimes people are negotiating and him don't have a contract, and him just not at liberty to say, because we could easily just yank the contract. So he would have, if he came and said, I am A, and we say, oh, me never like how you deal with it because you shouldn't say anything else.
Right.
So me now, but I give the contract. Then he would have still look stupid. I mean,
Right.
He would have, right? So he was in a space where he have to play the ball, I suppose, tentatively. So at the end of the day, when the whole idea came up that him should help, it really was in first place as assistant manager anyway, more assistant manager. You had to make sure that his roles and function was clearly defined also in the space of the JFF, because somebody had those roles before. So throughout all of that, I suppose him end up find himself a little bit compromised and never sure where he go, and probably just take the safe way out. So we can't kill him. No, I mean, I think him had value to it, and him come and him doing thing. So it's just for him now to just come out and say, this is what,
so at some point in time, it was his roles and responsibility was defined, and there seemed to be among the Jamaican public that there's some confusion. There's some, he's taken a little bit of beating for it. He's been given titles, So
let me explain. So Andre, let me explain something that will probably help a little bit more. So the current manager, that's Roy Simpson, he's actually the general manager, and he was promoted to that post from when Tupper was the coach, like nearly 2 years ago. That maybe he was promoted to be the general manager. And the general manager is not supposed to. He's in charge of all managers. He's not really supposed to be in charge of teams as such, right? He's supposed to control things from a central point.
Right.
What happened was that there was a concept that we were toying with to say, I don't know if you know that I am a person who acts as chef de mission for JOA, that is Jamaica Olympic Association, to like the Pan Am Games, the Commonwealth Games. I was the chef de mission.
Right.
No, I'm not a part of the organization, but what they would do is recruit people in the private sector who they think are capable to manage these teams. So we were toying with that idea. So that is where the origins come from, because these are people who have them business, qualified, know how to manage, professional. So we usually say, let us You know, they don't demand pay. They don't even do it for pay. It's just volunteer.
Right.
So that was how management came to say, listen, we have this concept that the managers probably should come from corporate Jamaica or just private Jamaica instead of we employing person. So that is how the concept came up with management. So it's a process because you have to talk to, when you change anything, you have to talk to a whole heap of people for them to agree.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to say management couldn't handle it better because I'm not taking up for it. But I'm just trying to highlight the complexity of the whole situation. And it was complex.
And I get that, and you, the part that I'd like for you to zero in on, I'm not trying to belabor the issue, is, I guess let me ask it this way: do you think that it would have helped this entire situation if, from a place of I hate to use the word, but it's a word that everybody would understand, from a transparency perspective, would you agree that maybe if it was dealt with by the organization, that it would have avoided all of this, and everybody would have been clear about what his role is?
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
But I agree. But you know what is good? And sometimes things happen in a way. What is good now is that anytime nothing go wrong for the national team, so far management lucky and nothing no go wrong too tough for the national. But anytime anything go wrong, see right here, nobody have to box shuffle is who forget the licks.
Well, that was made clear yesterday. They wanted to know his roles and responsibilities, so they know when to beat him and when to give him credit. and he's running from that because he says, I don't want credit. So maybe you don't want beaten either. So, so they was trying to clarify that. I think at the end of the day, Mr. Speid, I think in Trinidad we have a normalization committee that again goes back to governance, and or good governance, so to speak. And I think if we for the football, for the football to realize its full potential, I think that's a key piece of it, that if we get that right, the football could improve 10, 15, 20% potentially, because everything is on the good stage. I'm sure management is an asset to the JFF, but I think people feel that in his role on YouTube, he's an asset as well. And
Balakar morning, you have to hold on. Let Andre finish and then we'll come to you, all right?
Yeah, and I think
no problem.
Hopefully you coming on this morning would clear up, and I think accepting that it could have been announced by the organization. I think most people would appreciate that if the intention is to try to get people to be accountable, which is part of good governance. So I think you clearing up that piece is good. His rules, I don't know that his rules and responsibilities could be, when you look at football and teams traveling, there's a whole host of things come up, right? That could change from day to day, because I can tell you sometimes, I've traveled with teams and we organize it, and from names being spelled right, you would send the right name 15 times and they will spell it wrong 15 times on some of the names, and you've got to keep. So there's a whole host of things that can change in the process, which would add or take away from his roles and responsibility. But I don't know if you can, if you say assistant manager, what does that mean? What is assistant manager?
Oh, well, look here again. This thing was a trial, Suppose management just never did work out. It's not like him
You would have fired him.
Yes. So all of that is that he wasn't, because he's the first we really take somebody out of corporate private Jamaica like that to manage a team, But we kind of was piggybacking on what JOA does, because they did it successfully. I mean, they have really top people who they, run big companies who they use to head the things to Olympics. So it really was a trial. So in a way, the first trip we make was at the last minute. Like, I make a try it, and both managers went.
Right.
And because we really wanted, we don't know if it could have worked.
Right.
Because sometimes you might be outside and think you know everything.
Right.
But when you reach in, you realize that you really just don't know certain things. So it really was a trial. So I suppose him do well now, so them kind of, yeah, him still on probation.
So how long is he on trial for?
All right. Hold on. We have Balakar. Let's see what Balakar. Balakar, go ahead. You have 5 minutes start.
Yeah, man. Morning to everybody in our chat and morning to everybody on the panel. I don't know if I do a show about it already, but for when we dey make up the nice, they are say, me don't know the reason why CFAS not come. I understand. I don't know if I do a show about it, when me go have to watch it and get to understand what me they are say. But I like to know why the reason why CFAS not come. That a one. Two, I know you're not in charge of this part, but me did not say it to you anyway, because for your show, where if the squad are picked, you understand, you can have at least 25 man. Say, you know, say 25 man in the final cut, but 25 man, we only have choose, and if two get injured, you can replace two with the player where in a 25. You understand? More than we dey have a 20-man squad or a 19-man squad, and when time a player injured, we go draw for a lesser player. We not go give you nothing in a game them. You understand? So
All right,
I just that
Balakar.
with that
So let me answer the second question. When we did this yesterday. So the rule is when teams are being selected, right, for games like this. Though your final is 23, you normally contact like 40 players. You have a pool because remember, if something happens, you would have to have notified the clubs that the replacement player would be released. So there are more than 23 players every single time a team is selected. But depending on where you are, so if you're playing, for example, in Trinidad, it may be easier to get a player to move from Jamaica to Trinidad for one game the next day than to get a player who is playing in Azerbaijan to travel to come to a game in Trinidad in 1 day's time. So sometimes
so
it is
about the US.
what that's what I'm saying. It may be easier. It may be easier to get somebody from the US, right? Here's what now. You think, and this is where the issue is. You think who you have a player that you think this player deserves to be called because you use the term lesser player. And the question I always ask, so let me ask a question.
Use that.
What do you use to determine that the coach is choosing a lesser player? Or that is just your opinion? What constitutes a lesser player and a greater player in the context of what the coach is seeing?
All right. We'll use some name. Demario Phillips not play no football.
We're not asking about who playing football. He's not playing no football at all. He's still on my yard. But me don't want to ask about that. I want to ask when you say a lesser player, explain that to me. What makes a player lesser than the next player or greater than?
All right. The quality where they have management.
Okay.
Tariq Maggie better than them. Hands down and hands up.
Okay, so Tariq Magee is better than them who? Then so all the players, all the other
better
than just
players them no call no management.
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
Demario Phillips, Dashan Anglin. We don't call him name because there's
go ahead. Just no man. Hold on now. Just keep on calling the names. Go ahead. That's two.
Not about players them wouldn't call up.
But none of those players hold on now. Balakar. None of those players, but there's no way you can put Tariq Magee to play defensive midfield Balakar.
But all right, I'm getting to that man.
No. Balakar. We're going to have one discussion at a time. We're not going to argue.
Okay.
Hold on. We're not going to quarrel. You are using Tariq Magee to compare with Joshan Anglin. What makes Tariq Magee a greater central midfielder than Joshan Anglin? Explain that to me. That's all I'm asking you to do. You said
management. Hold on, no management. Let me explain good now. There is nowhere to have 4 or 5 defensive.
I am not asking. You don't get to determine that. You don't. Balakar, listen to what I'm asking you. Listen, the first thing you and I have to get past is your definition of lesser and greater players. You said that Tyreek McGee is a greater player because those are lesser players. You call the name Joshua Anglin, who is a central defensive midfielder. I am asking you, let me ask the question and you answer the question I'm asking you. I want you to tell me, why is Tyreek McGee a better CDM than Joshua Anglin?
Man,
yeah.
I'm going to answer you. I'm going to go because guess what? You are a man with reason. You have good reasonability. You're intelligent. Me know about the football. What me like, there is nowhere if you have Lottie body here. If you have Lambert, and if you have Daniel Johnson, and we don't have a player to play the creative midfield.
Oh, so
I can leave on Tyreek McGee and go to P.D. Williams also. But, better than the two of them.
No, hold on.
So,
right.
Man's can I help here? Can I help? Can I help?
Why,
I think the wrong thing is that you try to defend what the coach did and the coaching staff. And I think that's where the problem is. You can't defend them. No, I'm saying management can't defend.
Balakar, just listen to Balakar. We not quarrel, just listen. Let him, and then you talk.
Right. So, see somebody point out that Maggie's not a CDM. But the point I'm making is that the coach, my understanding is that the coach have about 250 players when think eligible for play. Him think of a standard for play for Jamaica, right? So, and when him come in, we agree with the coach that we're not going to interfere with his selection. So the truth is where the coach is seen, and we all see things different. Management have nothing to do with the coach pick, and you may be right, and management be right, but it's really the coach where I'm seeing him a pick and where him think about the players. Now, the more you learn about football, you kind of start learning some new things. So, for instance,
no, okay, Mr. Speed, I get what you say, but so you're telling me, say the coach going forward, the coach now go look on no creative midfield. I want to go look on defensive midfield.
I don't know. I can't tell you what I'm going to do. But all I'm going to say is, the coach will be judged by the results that him get. But I can't tell you what I'm going to do. Because we and him sign a contract, so we're not going to interfere in our team selections. That is in black and white. You know the only power we have? We can remove any player from the team for certain reasons. But we can't tell him who to pick. You see the difference? So he will always pick who he want to pick, and we have to just support it until
allegedly
do a good job.
And allegedly, me feel somebody the fool on the national team picking that team, not calling no name.
No, him and him assistant them pick the team. Me can tell you that.
Him and the assistant then. That means that the assistant have a problem with picking a creative midfielder. We just didn't want to know that then.
Know it for them.
You know,
but let me explain something to you again. But a Balakar?
Yeah, man, Balakar.
Yeah, man, a Balakar, man.
Balakar, let me explain something to you again. And you can read the article then. Trust me, the number 10 is dying out of football. You can go read the article then. Google. I one of my best friends. Read it about Balakar. Most coach don't even bother reading that.
And Mr. Speed, number 10 they die out of football. Number 10 and die out of no football. We know other national team but Jamaica.
No, number 10 is dying period. Dying period.
It's only one. It's only one midfielder we have in the national team. We can keep the ball and play it around right now. And a Daniel Johnson. Not one more.
But maybe
Daniel Johnson is the only player.
Maybe another team want. Balakar, maybe another team want. So you can't kill him.
All right, Balakar. Balakar, listen. And you see anything you say? Me I agree. Maggie Fair starting at the team because he's the best number 10 Jamaica.
No, man.
Then we don't have no number. Balakar.
Man is
Hold
man.
on, no, Balakar. Let me ask you a
No,
question.
no, no.
Balakar,
Never said that.
let me ask you a
Never
question.
ever said that.
Balakar, let me ask you a question.
No.
Balakar, may I ask you a question now? There are no number 10 playing in Jamaica team right now. So if McGee is the number 10, him coming at the team, him to play because we need a number 10. What the objection?
Not only Buggy alone.
Who?
With Ravel also.
Oh, okay. So all right.
Ravel
all right.
also.
So fine. Balakar, no raise a voice. So we're going to. We need Ravel Morrison and Tyreek McGee in the national team. And if the coach is not doing that, the coach is wrong. Argument done, man.
No. No, man. Let me explain. See, all right. With a lead a game 3-1 the other night. Zin.
And we needed McGee. We needed McGee.
No,
We are number 10.
McGee alone me talk about.
And we needed Ravel Morrison. We don't either need McGee or Ravel Morrison.
Hold on, man. Let me done then talk. We need others midfielder. We can come on. We can come calm down and move the ball around.
As me Google the data for number 10 in football, you know what come up? The number 10 can slide into pockets of half spaces between the midfield and defense.
All right.
In a full 90-minute game, these players are deemed a burden to the team, and many claim that they cannot suit into the high-energy modern football.
Balakar, you're right. The coach need to call back Speedy, he need to call back Maggie, he need to call back Ravel, and drop out three of the midfield here. Then I'm gonna say, okay.
We don't say put the whole man is man. We don't say put the whole of them in our team one time.
Then,
man is man.
What are you saying?
If me hear Andre Blake attack when we up 3-1, say
Balakar,
keep the ball, keep the ball.
Balakar,
No
Balakar. Should Ravel Morrison be in the team?
Me not give him a chance.
All right, so fine. All right, so Ravel Morrison need to be in the team. Should
Speed can play, but Ravel can play.
Balakar, should Ravel Morrison be in the team?
Yes, I believe.
All right, so that's one. Should Tyreek McGee be in the team?
Yes, we need a
all
second.
Right, should Speedy be in the team?
If we have hold on.
Me give you a chance to answer. I'm giving you a chance to answer.
If him picking two best CDM or a 8 role and Speed in it, we don't have a problem.
So you tell me.
Don't feel Latibody here.
Listen, so Latibody must get dropped out of Jamaica team. Who else?
No, him to play rightful position.
Oh, so Latibody must stay in the team. So who must get dropped out of the team?
Is either we go, or tell her now, is either we go pick a centre back when I perform. Balakar.
You know,
me explain man is man.
Balakar. Nobody, you keep on saying, hold on, nobody's stopping you.
But you stop me?
No, me not stop you. Me I tell you if you continue talking. Go ahead.
All right. We have 5 centre back. We have Damian Lowe. We have Ethan Pinnock. We have Dishard Bernard. We have King and Latibody. If you're going to pick 4 out of them, right? Pick the best where they perform. And don't pick Latibody in the midfield, in the 4 midfielder or the 3 midfielder where they pick. And then when you play Latibody, him lose 95% of the ball because he cannot control as a CDM. If we try my centre back or right back, let me see him and see how he can play. No use him in a midfield to give a ball. Against the team the other day, every touch he make him give a ball. Him and him could have scored pound with it. Then they have more quality player to strike at the goal. Or more quality player we can take the ball and take it to the goal. Him lose the ball too much. You understand? Then when we move the ball forward in the midfield, and then we go have Leon Bailey they play in the 10 role, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because Leon Bailey is not a creative midfielder. He's a winger. He more effect on the wing. He man great. We need to have a ball angler right there so we can distribute the ball either to the wing or to the forwards. That's all me there say, man.
Balakar have him opinion, man. Nothing wrong with him opinion. That's his opinion.
All right,
That's
so
all me there.
Balakar, all I'm asking you is so Lati Bordier must go and play right back, right?
Man is man. Stop
No,
put words
me
in the
just-
man mouth.
I'm
Never
No.
say that.
All right, no,
No.
me ask him. He must go.
No.
Where must he go and play? Balakar.
He must
Balakar
play
say he must
right
go up in his stance.
position.
What is his Balakar? You see, I'm allow you to talk. Nobody interrupt you. When me ask you, me ask you a simple question and you get
Man
aggressive.
is man. Don't say that.
Balakar.
Balakar, him never say that.
Where is
Mr.
Lati
Man-
Bordier? Hold on, Mr. Speed. Where is Lati Bordier rightful position?
A centre back missing play for club and
All right.
check up here.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay, your answer. So Lati Bordier must go and play centre back.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, and then you bring in Speedy to play holding midfield.
No.
Who?
Lambert is going to play.
Okay. So Lambert. So Speedy is not going to be in your team.
Speedy can be on the bench.
Also,
Daniel
all right,
Johnson will play
Hold on,
8.
hold on, Balakar. Just calm down, man. Nobody now raise them voice except you. What is the problem? You drink alcohol or something this morning?
No.
Now drink alcohol, me general. Or when I go party. But man is man. If me not get the pint out there, it's like me talk these when me talk now, you know. I go on all live platform them and talking. So if the team, if the coach feels say Lati Bordier is the best CDM and he might use it, we will get hurt. And we get hurt by it.
So here's what I'm
We
asking
can't
about.
keep up.
Because people are saying that I'm interrupting you. And I am doing all of that. So I'm going to allow you to talk as long as you want. And then I just want to ask you.
No, we don't talk with my point already, you know.
Can I ask you any
But
question?
when
Are
you talk,
no.
you ask the question, you know, if you want to answer,
So
answer.
all right. Do you want to answer questions or you want to hang up?
No, more answer question, man.
Okay. So Lambert is going to be a starting midfielder with Daniel Johnson
Yeah.
and Tyreek McGee. That is your midfield. Or not Tyreek McGee.
It don't have to be Terry.
All right. Ravel Morrison
If
no.
Ravel Morrison,
All right. So Ravel,
either one of them can start.
All right, so Ravel Morrison is going to be a starting number 10. Tyreek McGee is going to be on your bench. Lambert is going to be a starting CDM, and Speedy is going to be on your bench.
Yes, Speedy can be on the bench too.
All right. So fine. That's all. All right. Right?
Yeah.
Could I ask a question?
So there you go. And so that's all I may ask you. So your midfield is Kevin Lambert, Daniel Johnson, and Ravel Morrison. Speedy on bench and McGee on bench. All right, not a problem. You see how easy it is? That is your opinion.
All right, yeah.
Me done. I am done.
But before him go say, I want to tell him something. I want to tell, because you know sometimes we have to talk about it. So what is happening now with the Balakar is, and you don't must see it this way. People believe that they're on the last genuine out and out number 10 are Ozil, you know. That's where it stops, you know. If you look on the number 10 like Bruno Fernandes, another player there where you envision a number 10 to be. Let's give an example.
Bruno Fernandes
where people are looking at it is not that one player who can tread that ball and give you the winner from it, which is the person we fall in love with it from the modern time, that old time number 10. We have all the skills and the fairness of the defensive work. So the modern game, you know who's scoring the most goals in a modern game now? Usually wide players, wingers, wide forwards. People are more thinking about the team than the one man. Modern coaches, and what they're looking at is creating chances from the half spaces and the full spaces, not necessarily from in the middle of the park. That's where, if you look where most of the chances they create from, is half spaces and full spaces. So the number 10, because them is a liability defensively, people kind of start shun them and not play them as much. So Jamaica is not trending anywhere where the world not trending. I just wanted to make that point. That's where the world trending. You can go research it.
Yeah, no, me have the other team, international team on the back, you know, and know about, you know, right? So you're all right. For instance, England. Remember, you know, England have Declan Rice and Phillips, right? One can tackle, one can keep the ball. And them have Jude Bellingham or James Madison. They play the 10 role. When me just said, right? If we can give, if the coach can give other players a chance. Remember, in the last World Cup qualifying, no one was working harder than Speedy Williams in that midfield. So more have to know what him have to do right now to get back a call in the national team.
So you are saying that the people who work hard must play.
The player them where they farm to play.
Oh, so you change for work hard because me have some construction man who work hard,
All right. Tariq Maggie farm. Speedy Williams farm. We can go overseas also where some players to get them call. The player will play left back the other day for Jamaica, deserving call up. Right now we have two good left back. We have a problem.
But I want you to understand let me explain something to you. Nowadays the game's so modern. Even them test you to see how good your energy systems are, power, endurance, speed. Man, all don't make team because them not have those energy systems in them body, So it's not what you see with your eyes anymore with the modern game. Don't think you can use your eyes. And the man check you how much miles you run, and they must say this is my standard. If you not run 10 miles how much, you don't even want to look for you can't come run 5 miles or 4 miles. So I'm telling you that all of these things, when the players come to the national training, them have all of these records and them look through them and understand. So if you have someone where just the whole about if you have someone who around 8 miles and you're gonna play a team or the team average around 12 miles, what you gonna do with that the 8 mile man there? So only for these things people are go through in them head all the time to figure out who are the best person to pick for the team. And you just use your eyes alone to pick the players them when eyes are probably about 25% nowadays.
Mr. Speed, I see just like how you study game, you might not have the license, but study it too. If we go have a player with a run 10 and you have one player with a run 9, and every time you call the player with a run 10, we have a 2-goal lead and it cause one next goal. Why we keep on using that player?
I didn't say that was the only thing, I'm just telling you that there's a lot of metrics that people using to determine who they want to call out.
All right, Balakar. That's
yes, sir.
25 minutes. Is that enough time, or you still want more?
How we hear you, Balakar?
Yeah, man. But me can't talk around about other people be calling for the show. But man, one thing I want to tell you, because you're one very smart brother. So when you hear me talk, the general, because you know we know the football game. Don't go like you want to me go sideways so and I tell me to Tariq Maggie for this because
me?
Yeah, you.
Balakar, may I leave you with one last question?
Yeah.
You just say you're watching. You're watching.
Yes,
hold on, man, may I leave you with one last question? You just say you're watching, right? And you're a student at the game. I will not dispute that. But so does other people, don't? I mean, we can't pretend that me and you are the best in our world ever. We can't pretend that. When me and you not earn no money from being the best. Other man a billionaire from being the best. Me and you not earn no money now. And me always believe, say, private sector pay for the best people. So if nobody now pay you to do what you're good at, you're probably not good. You agree with that? So here's the point. You have some man where people look on the best league and put them in the English Premier League, which is the best league in the world. Man of them, man, they are playing this one, pay them millions of dollars, billion Jamaican dollar a year them are earn. Some of the players then. And then you have a second next man in our next league come off of the bench. Like in our USL or whatever the L league it name. And Balakar, you genuinely believe that them man they were up in the top league in the world are idiot to pick them man they up there so. And never pick a man when they come off of the bench in the USL. Or some man when they have no job, no team, no want them none at all. You explain that to me. And then you come, then nobody explain it today now. Go think about it and come back on the show.
No, me not have to think about it. Me not have to think about it. We can make an example right now. The second string goalkeeper is playing in the USL, and he's damn good. So we can't say we can go on and on.
You hear what you just said, Balakar? You hear what you just said? The second string goalkeeper. Balakar. All right, go ahead, Balakar. You go ahead.
If when Andre Blake now in the goal, that you keep good money.
All right, but
if right now that you
Balakar,
right now the coach said
Balakar, we're not questioning his quality. Do you know the chances of a goalkeeper being replaced when you have a good goalkeeper is less likely than an outfield player? You know, outfield players are easier replaced than goalkeepers. Let me ask you a question. Who is the second string goalkeeper at Manchester United, the team you support?
No.
No. Here's why I ask you that. No, Balakar, let me finish now. No, Balakar, you're going to make Balakar, here's the point. Here's the point I'm trying to make. You don't know who the second string goalkeeper.
You can't tell me I know. That's why I tell you say you can't use the brain for me.
Balakar, you don't know. Balakar, you don't know who the second string goalkeeper.
Balakar. You tell me I know man is
Balakar. Then give me the name.
You tell me I know.
All right, Google it.
Answering you until you answer me.
What is your question? Ask a question.
We don't hear why CFAS don't in the national team. Why
but how you no. How you gone there, sir? How you gone there, sir, now?
Because gone to Manchester United, we are talking about international football.
So let's tell you why. You just said you use the example of our second string goalkeeper playing in the USL to justify what Mr. Speid said to you. So I'm going to ask you, because you came on to argue and you're not going to answer my question. You have spent 29 minutes, and with all respect,
Balakar. I don't know the keeper name.
That's all I'm asking you.
Turkey.
But that's all.
The keeper, I don't remember
Balakar,
keeper name. He come from Turkey.
Listen, relax. So here's the point I'm making. And listen, if you listen to the point, you're arguing with yourself.
No, but
if you just listen, but you're not listening. I'm saying that you keep on. Nobody can talk to you. When Mr. Speid attack, you interrupt. You just talk because you think somebody are trying to turn you in an idiot and fool. So here's the thing.
But you can't do that. But
yeah. So here's what now. I'm telling you, Balakar. Today you have won, and everything you said is right. So I'm not argue with you.
No. That's my opinion.
Then
some of them is right. And some of them are right.
All right. So, Balakar, I'm saying today, some of your opinions are right and some of your opinions are wrong.
Thank you.
All right.
And some of you are right and some of you are
wrong.
No,
give none. I don't give one opinion. Me not give none. Are you alone give today?
Man is one. You know what I say? I'm a general. And guess what? Anytime we come from the store, I will see like we have one serious fight ago and you say they're going all right. This is how you behave, my general.
How me behave, Balakar?
I go to ever respect you.
Balakar.
Next Marius get a call, man. Remember, man.
Lord of mercy. Jesus help me. Balakar, bless up yourself. Oh my God. I don't even remember where.
So
I don't remember where I was.
So Kali is thanking Mr. Speid for providing clarity. I think Mr. Speid made a point just now as well that might have get missed, man is man, and forgive me. I think in him trying to explain the selection process sometime when he first intervened, he said you cannot defend the coach. I think he's of the opinion that you were trying to defend the coach. And I think that is something that we need to hear, because I think what happens when I say we need to hear, don't miss that point, because I think that's what people hear sometimes that make them try to corner you and put you into different categories. So I think you probably want to be mindful of that. That in those conversations you don't seem to be defending anybody.
All right. So let me just. We have a caller online, but Mr. Speed, yeah. Caller, welcome to the show. Just give me 30 seconds, Mr. Speed. Pesa said he's very upset that big old Cavaliers play in the Champions League and did not have a Jamaica flag or anything representing Jamaica on the Cavaliers black jersey. He said he's very disgruntled about that. All right. That's number one. And Eagle Republic is asking if VAR will be used in the quarterfinal stages of the CONCACAF Nations League because there have been some very dubious calls, even in the Trinidad game last night, and then the game that they played at home against, I think, Guatemala, some very dubious calls, right? So they're asking those two questions of you. We'd love for you to answer them. Think about them, but we're going to go to the caller who is online. Welcome to the show, caller.
What go on, man?
But there, Balakar, my brethren, pressure me can't pass out a dunk and again, when I go punch me can't.
Me's not a football expert, but I try to use my little common sense to apply it to everything. See? And sometimes if you apply your common sense to the football, you will see things. So this is a question. If you have a painter we can paint, right? And a mason we can paint better than the painter, who you going to have to paint your house?
If you have a painter that can paint, if you have a painter that can paint and you have a mason that is better than the painter, you want your house paint, you're going to use a better person to paint your house, whoever the best person is.
That should solve the body argument after today. And if you want me break it down, me break it down.
Yeah, man, you can break it down, man. Break it down for people who don't understand, yeah.
Then say my defender,
yeah,
right? But he might say my the best holding midfielder, now him repeat you.
Yeah, my name is Balakar call back, you know. My name is Balakar.
No, brother. You say if you apply life and common sense to football, our easy game, I can't do a speed set. Not that complicated, enough. Them are complicated.
Yeah.
All right. Again, if them a pick play up on farm, right, brother? A player playing. If you pick play up on farm, you just pick someone and come play with the on farm. Then since a farm, we are go by.
I think that's what Mr. Speed was alluding to. But Balakar said that we were trying to take him down some sidetrack, and him not going to go down no sidetrack. So
you tell me now, man, then say Maggie with 3 highlights, right? When come off of the bench and score 3 goals, and them I say him to come solve. Yo, if Maggie can solve Jamaican problem, Jamaica have a very serious problem.
Right. What I'll say is that I believe that players can be looked at. You understand me? And if you're playing well, there should be opportunities where you can be looked at. All right? You understand me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is part of the thing. Just look at them. But in terms of like you just said, sometimes you have a player that does better at the thing, though that is not his designated area. And particular coaches have for example, some coaches like a CDM that is disciplined, meaning this is the kind of CDM that you're not going to get them going forward. Some people don't mind if the CDM joining the attack, you know. Some coaches prefer a CDM that is like a stabilizer. And sometimes how people are selected is not just based on the talent, but also based on the coach's philosophy of football. Because there are some players that Pep don't buy. There are some players that Pep sells. That people say, why would Pep sell that player? But because how Pep wants to play, as good as the player is, he doesn't fit into the system that Pep has. And I think that is where all of us sometimes need to give coaches the leverage to make their decisions, and when it begins to fail, then you challenge them on those things. That's how I see it.
And that's what makes these discussions particularly difficult, because we don't know the roles and responsibilities that the coach have for each position. So because we don't know that, we might feel that this player is performing well and he should be in the team, but there might be another player that would do the job that the coach want better. Sometimes you mentioned just now Pep or somebody getting rid of a player that from our perspective is doing well. Sometimes it could just be attitude. It could be a number of things. And we often don't have much of the information to understand why the coaches are making the decisions that they're making. So, for example, in the last 30 minutes of the conversation, I'm thinking, do we know? I don't know what it is for Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know if you know Man's Man or Mr. Speed, but what is the criteria for selecting players to the Jamaican national team? Everybody suggests players, but does anybody know what that is?
Yeah, let me just finish and run now because some can't listen to the program. But as I say, man, another thing when I want to say, the man them me and some other program me and man after the coach get fire. From the another again, it's a common sense man, you know. See? Oh, can I hire a chef to cook my food and him a cook it good and me fire him?
That's a good one. But
them people I don't know what they want, yeah, man. But that is my story and I'm sticking to it, okay?
All right, then respect, man, every time. Unseen, you haven't said much since you have been listening to us. So let me give you a chance to add to the discussion. Go ahead.
My name's Juan. Listening to the program. You hear me well?
Yeah, we're hearing you well.
Yeah, listening to the program. Listening by the car.
My condolences to you as well, you know. Very, yeah.
No. Speak your mind, man. Don't come with no semantics. Speak your mind, man. Be free to speak.
I just want to say I understand the pain that you're going through right now. And, you know, I'm very empathetic and sympathetic towards you and the entire Charlemont fan base for your you being booted out of the schoolboy football competition, having suffered several defeats, you know, 7-up and all of those things. You know, wish you all the best going forward and hope that you will build from this and be a better, stronger person.
Okay. So people, that was planned. Management unseen episode 1, you know? Facts.
Yeah, go ahead though.
Yeah, somebody used to Balakar and thing, and you know, Mr. Speed mentioned about work hard. But if you really look on the team, you know, you have a couple of players who the coach really call who just work hard alone. Like a Corberg, you know. Unfortunately, it may look like Corberg will be in the team again because Romario Williams look a cut above him by far, you know, playing for Jamaica. So, you know, I think some of the time the coach may say certain things and him don't live up with it, you understand me? So for example, him say him now gonna pick a player who is not active in a club, you know, him pick the Wonder Kid. I don't have any problem with it, me personally, but it still shows that him don't live up to him word. You understand my man is, man? Issues again with CFAS. I don't know about someone is, man. I understand. Explain to me. I don't know.
Mr. Speed is here. Ask him to explain.
But you're part of the management team.
But I went through this yesterday.
Oh, I was done.
Yeah, so maybe you need a different explanation. So maybe you can get that from Mr.
No. You can't summarize it. You're smart and intelligent.
This thing is that there were flight. It was like the Instagram post. It was flight issues with flight, and I think going ahead, one of the changes that must be made is that all of these things must be done earlier and settled on from way in advance. So if it is said, all right, so we're playing Canada Friday the 17th of November in Jamaica, right? So all of those things now, like the person, the agency in charge of like flights should start finding flights like today for the players. That would mean the coach need to submit at least his first squad. You understand me? Yes, first submit your squad so the tickets can be purchased from early, and the person responsible for ensuring those tickets are done, yeah, then that is done. And I think it would remove a lot of the issues that we have had. And that this has been an ongoing issue. It's not the first we have seen these things. And so the sentiment that, boy, it is because it is CFAS why this happened is not true. Other players have gone through issues with flight. And it is something that I have spoken about, that this must be fixed. It has to be fixed, where players must, even the coach has spoken about these things before, about the importance of naming squads early and getting tickets early, because that makes it cheaper. You understand me? And like I said, the conversation in terms of interview should be like somebody need to speak to like the general secretary on these matters. You understand what I mean? But I don't think it is because it was CFAS why this was done. Like it was an intentional plan to sabotage him. I don't think that is it. But I think it is something that it needs improving, and we have to get to a point in our football where we don't have these things happening again and again and again. So that is my take on it.
All right, man, move on to our next thing I want to talk about. So I did a show the last time and
hold on, we have a caller named Neil on the show, unseen. First time hearing from Neil. Neil, welcome to the show. Good.
What man? It's a Tennessee man.
Tennessee. Oh, Tennessee. Are we a Neil in here, man?
Yeah, man.
All right, what go on?
Because if specifically talk to Unseen, because remember one night time, Unseen now the assistant coach.
No, let's ask him. Unseen, what are you? Hey, Tennessee, are you play some bad old tune in the background? You turn it off in the mind and make me get no problem.
no man, I know me.
All right. Unseen, what is your role?
I mean, I play some tune up in the background. You understand? Something I want to.
All right. What is your role at Charlemont? Quickly.
So I'm the assistant coach. But I do a lot of
all right. So you're the assistant coach. All right.
I do that.
All right. Mute the music and then Tennessee, make your point now.
No, I can't mute the music.
Yeah, because Unseen and the head coach, I beat the coach and the head coach now play right. Yeah, man, and the coach now the right tactics. So what do you mean? Yes, Unseen get 7-0. So I wonder. So Unseen coach explain the game expertly, and then beat algorithms and put out the right tactics, and them call players. So me try to ask Unseen that way really happen. Because if the head coach have so much expertise and he can tell where coach do wrong, algorithms not do wrong from where now do. So why they get to 7-0?
Unseen, you can answer that?
Yeah, it's simple. I'm think
all right, then Tennessee, respect. Yeah.
Yeah, we can't say it now, but I think Tennessee is smarter than that. You know, we can have a show for semantics and joke. But it is a wicked man to compare schoolboy football with national program. Or even JPL football. Because we can select 124 man we can pass and control and be tactical on the field. I can't do that high school so easy. Half of your team, some of them are 1 foot catch them up on the field. Simple, concise.
So it wasn't you're saying that it wasn't the coach, it was really the quality of the team that you had. You had a poor quality team.
We have players who, you know, basically they play good today, tomorrow they play bad. Anxiety issues, stuff like that.
Okay, so
yeah, a lot of them was the first time playing schoolboy football.
Okay,
so what minds man may help right here. So because every time we do a coaching course, I tell the coach them, if I ever hear them blame the players, them make them not feel them.
What's my coach here? What am I saying?
You say man say anytime a coach blame the players, they're going to feel them. So you're stuck at me for a while.
Every time they are coaching course, why the session go wrong? Them start blame the player. I say, yo, you don't make me feel you.
Hold on. Nobody not gonna blame nobody when they're coaching course.
It must be a reason. I like people tell me about reasons why something happened. Not just say the player, just say, look here, me never prepare them properly. Them never technically was able to deal with the other team because the next team is superior to us. That's how we must talk as a coaches in Jamaica. I didn't have enough time to prepare them properly. They were a better technical and better tactical team than we were. I chose the wrong tactic and their tactic defeated my team. That's how we must start the talk.
No, so I have a pretty tough.
It's not pretty.
A pretty tough.
No, it's facts to say the next team better than me. Why you can't say next team better than me? But next time I will.
No, but the question wasn't the next team better than me question.
No, it's the answer you give. Whatever the question is unseen, you choose your answer.
Right. So my answer is some of the players have anxiety issue, which is facts.
And then so you said that I want football them up on the field.
But why would they have those issues?
Some of the players, no, may I use an example? We say some players, the one foot them can't use. Them can't use 2 foot while a player in the National League can use both foot. Good. That's why I compare.
No, unseen. You're blaming the players.
I'm not blaming nobody.
I'm saying they're at a level. Whose fault why you perform?
You want me to blame the players? That's what you want me to do.
No, whose fault why you perform so poorly this season?
That's a different question now.
So answer that question.
Preparation was the fault. Why the players then wasn't playing?
So who was in charge of preparation?
Right.
Huh?
Who was in charge of preparation?
The school and the coaching staff.
Okay.
So I mean the principal now.
No man, the principal is responsible.
Again, seen fire, you know. Mr. Speed, did you see QSL game yesterday?
Which game?
Trinidad
and Tobago.
5-3.
A 5-3 or a 3-2?
5-3.
5-3.
Oh, it was a game. No, I didn't see that game. I saw the 3-2 game where it came from behind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we watched the game. I think something is wrong with was wrong with the right side of the TNT defense. They have USA though in the next round. The last time they played the USA in the Gold Cup recently, it was what, 6-0,
and the time before that it was 7.
Okay.
And in the Gold Cup, it's in the Gold Cup, I've heard many people say that it was the second and third team that we played, and I think this time around we're sure to see guys who are playing at Juventus, guys who are playing at Dortmund, Arsenal. So it could be a difficult game. It will be a difficult game.
So you need to win this game to go through Trinidad? Yeah.
Being on top of the group last night, at one time it was probably if Martinique had won the game, at one time if they had won the game 1 goal, 2 goals at different times, it could have mean we ended up third. So it was kind of a close finish. But
Martinique defeated St. Lucia.
No, Martinique played against El Salvador and it drew 0-0.
0-0, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't.
And Guatemala lost to Panama 3. Yeah. But the last time we played Canada and lost 4-0, we used Nicholas Nelson, Daniel Green, Atafari Bygrave, Javian Brown, Ricardo Thomas, Ravel Morrison, Devon Speedy Williams, King, Lee, Mariappa, and Blake.
And we lost what?
4-0 in Canada. I think we'll have a completely different team for this one though. Yeah. But we have Peso on the line. Peso.
What I'm going to show, man, is big up Sir Speed and see it. Sir Speed, me post in a chat, but man is not to see it. I got more than 5 hours with Speed around. With Speed.
Yeah.
What I'm going to Sir Speed?
Not much me there.
Like how they see a team in a black jersey over there and no Cavalier Chris on the jersey, man. That is not a good look, man. I don't like that, man.
So year one to win.
Tournament like that.
Hold on, man. The year one to win, man. That was supposed to be a training kit. What happened to us was we had 2 different kits that we were using But we did put in a black kit in the log for the gears that we could choose from. So CONCACAF said we must play in the black kit.
Okay.
And then so
Yeah, black
either
kit look
them
good.
fine us
Look
or
good,
we play
man.
in the
Like,
black kit. But it was never meant to be a kit where we really want to play. That's really what we reach.
okay, yeah. Come say almost something like that. I got too many. It look good. And I tell you lie. That's a Chris. That was a Cavalier Chris missionary.
Yeah. But the game they look good
man,
though. Because we were up 5-0 half time.
Yes, man. I don't miss a game, man. I don't miss a game, man. I support the JPL teams, man.
Yeah, man. Respect. Thanks.
Because you know my team is United now for right now.
So we fixed the problem there though. You know, see that again.
All right, sir. Yeah, all right. Yeah, man. But looking forward to the league, you know.
Yeah, man.
So we get some big people on board. Come here. For a reason one day before. They really go through. So it's a good look.
Yeah, they having a takeover.
Yeah, man.
At the club.
Yeah, man. It's like him just give. Guy in front of can tell me, sir. Yeah. So you look good, man.
The takeover statement, I think they're changing the name to Montego Bay as well instead of Moby. And I hear that. I mean, it's a kind of financial resources that is beyond what Mount Pleasant have. So it will be interesting to see.
So nobody can have beyond what
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Don't believe that, buddy. Don't like that.
That's what
nobody can have that. We go play Mount Pleasant.
Mount Pleasant is a benchmark. It's a benchmark in Jamaica.
Mount Pleasant can't be the benchmark, you know.
In the background and the vehicles, the horns tooting and all that.
Yeah, but come on the road.
Mount Pleasant is not the benchmark, you know.
All right then.
Mount Pleasant can't be the benchmark. They are at the top.
Okay. Well, I was told that the parties that are coming in are some of the wealthiest people in the Caribbean. I don't know, and it's 3 of them. So it is not like one person, it's 3 person.
Yeah, but you know a problem though. At the end of the day, unless they go overseas to play, them still gonna have a little problem because Mount Pleasant by all of the players them already. No, there's no player left to buy.
Yeah, but don't they have 4 Brazilian down there?
6
Brazilian. And I hear that they are young except for 1, so that will be interesting. But listen, we have a very interesting conversation coming up, you know. Want to thank Mr. Speid, but Mr. Speid, I keep getting messages about the assistant coach by the name of Thomas on the female team, right? So
tell us, me I go check it out.
Yeah, check it out and let me know. Yeah, check it out and let me know. So Andre, you can rejoin, or Mr. Speid, you know, you can rejoin.
But I just want everybody to know that I spoke to her and told her that, listen, if you have no issues, call me. She hasn't. So.
Okay, you did. Okay. All right. So
man.
So let me just say this, people. As soon as this is finished, we are going to be talking with Marlon Glean. Marlon Glean is the president of the Grenada Football Association. He was very instrumental while he was at FIFA with the work at the Captain Horace Burrell Center. Lots of good information.
So man, before you go, Brand Mighty, you have to post what Brand Mighty say. Because that just debunk everything you just said about 2 minutes ago.
Okay, all right.
A wealthy man in Caribbean and a wealthy man in England are 2 different men.
See the name them here? Businessman Epstein and Dr. Spencer are at the control at Moby, along with, I think, Lake.
No, but being wealthy in the Caribbean and being wealthy in England are 2 different ways.
Be careful, you know, because there's a lot of offshore banking in the Caribbean. Piney.
As you talk about wealthy, Mr. Speid,
hold on, Andre's going to say something. Go ahead, Andre.
What's the transfer budget for this window?
Oh, my transfer budget
now that you played Caribbean,
still 100,000 Jamaican, and you know, so me still have
one of them right there, so the car park
can exceed it by about 10,000.
Forget the far click.
All right.
It's an increased budget.
Management.
Yeah.
Sorry about this management. I have a customer. I have to go call you back.
Yeah. Go ahead, Andre. And then Unseen, we're going to let you say what you're saying, and then we'll go on.
No, Mr. Speid answered already.
All right. Go ahead, Unseen, and then we'll run over.
I was wondering if we're going to do a show with the JPL so we can talk about these things. You know, you look like you're running away.
Yeah, man, we're going to have a JPL show with Owen Hill and stuff. But we have this very important interview. The guest is waiting. So people just look out for the notification. And before you leave this video, make sure you hit the like button, you subscribe and you share. We're going to talk to Mr. Marlon Glean. Thanks to Unseen, Andre as usual, and Mr. Rudolph Speid for coming on and clearing up these issues with us this morning. I am Manizman. This has been I Am Sure Sports. And as usual, when it gets to this point of the show, we say we are over and we are out. Again, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and share before you go.
Yo, watch about dog. SK New heard this. The body out there. Sniper King I represent for I Am Sure Sports. You get to me, I say? When you want the latest news and sports and updates and all of that, check out I Am Sure Sports. You know the thing goes in. Remember, you cover the whole island. Remember Kingston, Westmoreland, Galchester, Ocho-Rios, Galtigo Bay. Everywhere. I Am Sure Sports, check it out for the latest news and latest updates. Sniper King I represent. Where them feel like? Yeah. Someone on for the food from we young, from we day, you need height. I Am Sure Sports. Yeah, dog.